So, you wish to hear one of the many fantastical tales of Lemon the Great Bard, hmm? Well, if it is a tale you want, it is a tale you will receive. This tale is about that time I fed a pet beholder of mine an entire grove full of druids and tiefling refugees. Yes, you are correct. I am quite the awful person, but you cannot say that I am not a person who acts with some level of cinematic flair. I move with a passion few can. I inspire awe unrestricted by audience or setting, and I create spectacle with no equal. You already know what I did, but the why is what you will hear first. The day prior to the raid on the Druid Grove turned refugee camp, I had mysteriously found myself aboard an illithid nautiloid. While this illithid nautiloid was plummeting through the very skies, my eagle-like vision spied something that would change the course of my destiny forever. I caught my first glimpse of the succulent Minthara. Screaming from the heavens, I told her my name and prayed she would remember it. And a goddamn sexy drow woman. I'll see you later, girl. Remember my name, it's Lemon. Eventually, having settled up with my own merry band of people, sharing my affliction and feeling the rabid fervor of yearning for Minthara set into my bones, I set off on a new journey. The first stop on which would bring me to a druid grove known as the Emerald Grove. Here, in all of my wonderful and efficient glory, I can kill it. Watch me. In one fell swoop, I both discovered this grove and managed to ingratiate myself with them, earning their trust by slaying a raiding party of goblins knocking on their gate. Alas, that gate proved to be quite sturdy and imposing, fully capable of stopping this goblin raid party with ease. It would not remain that way for much longer. In the grove, I found a goblin captured alive named Saza. I would have let her die had she not mentioned her boss being some sort of drow woman. Even their cages are boring, huh? And then I roll a 19 on this, and come combat, I'm gonna die instantly.
Did the boss lady send you to rescue me?
The boss lady? In a roundabout way, the boss lady did send me, even though I've never actually met her. That was the closest I'd heard of Minthara, so the decision to save this goblin and escort it out of the grove was one quickly made. Taking Saza up on her offer of safe passage through this goblin army's camp, I waded through the vile filth and swine strewn about to find myself at a ruined temple to the god one of my companions hates more than Mondays. What was that? You heard there was another bard there, hmm? Well, I suppose yes there was, but I just walked right past him. What? Why would I help him? Having another bard around would just be more competition. My flute isn't appreciated enough as it is. Like I said, I strolled right on past that pathetic low-level bard and even got past the cute little goblin guards. Shadowheart had some things to say about how being in a temple of Selûne was somehow in any way worse than being in the middle of a literal army of goblins. Shadowheart, I have one question for you. We are in the middle of a raiding party army of goblins. And now, instead of just shutting up and walking through this place all nice and peacefully, you would rather sit here and bitch to me about the fact that this is a Selûne temple. Do you really believe your religion is worth more than your life at the moment? Maybe I can persuade you to tell me more, huh? I binked the roll. Tell me what's going on, Shadowheart.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
No.
Shah, the mistress of the night.
You worship Shah, huh? Shadowheart, I am a bard, girl. I have lived my entire life in one inn. I have seen thousands upon thousands upon thousands of religious acolytes alone. Not even the other groups of people. Just religious zealots. I have seen every god under the sun be worshipped. Do you really think someone like me would give the slightest, most faint, even hint of a fuck about the god that you worship? I don't care. There is a worm currently moving around in my brain. It is making my cranium ache. Do you think I care about Shar? How could that even be? As if anyone cares about what god you worship. These creatures would cut and butcher you faster than you could get your god to bat an eye. Moving on and sparing the details, I was dealt an awful hand by being forced to A, brand one of my flute playing hands. Fuck it. They disapprove. Great, my party hates me. This is going to fucking hurt. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh, ow! Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god. B, allow myself to get the blood beat out of me by a literal priest of pain. My flute really is worth nothing. All right, beat the shit out of me now. Fuck it. Everyone wants to see it. My whole party approved of you beating the shit out of me, and they still don't care about my flute. Kill me while you're at it. Fuck. Ow. And C, the interrogation of a goddamned dead illithid so a brutish hobgoblin didn't skewer me. Well, this is a shitty situation that Lemon has stumbled into. Good God. Oh, fuck. Shadowheart, I have 1 HP. You have to understand, Shadowheart, combat is absolutely something we must avoid right now. My hand just got burned. I can't play my flute, let alone kill this big-ass fucking hobgoblin guy. Okay, well, fuck it. I'm taking the reins. Hand me the scroll. All right, here we go. Well, shit. Squid boy, tentacle man. Speak to me, what's your grand plan? Tell me about your Rubik's Cube and the one side you couldn't solve. Perhaps in death you found what you didn't have in life, and in death you shall not tell about my life. I don't fucking know. I eventually found myself face to face with the sultry drow I had spied from the Nautiloid. She was far better in person than she had been from the atmosphere, that's for sure. So entranced was I by her aura that I mindlessly exchanged the life of the goblin I had saved only an hour prior to get in Minthara's good graces. Saza tried her damnedest to snitch on me to Minthara, but thank all that is bodily and instrumental, Minthara valued the life of one drow more than the life of one goblin. That's an assessment I can agree with. Believing me to be a true soul of the absolute, Minthara simply took whatever I said at face value. So now that I had locked myself into a business agreement with Minthara, exchanging the lives of every single druid, refugee, and child within the Emerald Grove for her attention, I found myself needing some sort of plan. I mean, look at me. How was I supposed to in any way, shape, or form influence the combat that was to come? I'm far more skilled with my flute than with my blade. My words would probably do more harm than my weapons. This is where a little group known as the Zehenterim comes into play. You see, just a short walk away from the goblin camp just so happened to be a highly important package being delivered by the Zehenterim. And I just so happened to know that this package contains some sort of soul-containing flask or phylactery or dimension-warping prison or whatever the hell this flask is. As you have probably already figured out for yourself, this very flask contained, of all God's forsaken things, a motherfucking beholder. You know, the very same creature they use to depict the hardest difficulty in the entire game. That very species of creature. After abusing a poor business agreement between me and the enlightened lump of an ogre named, well, Lump, I slaughtered all of the gnolls threatening the Zehenterim mailmen fellows and gave their very flesh to Lump as payment. Now, you see, I desperately needed to acquire this beholder for my own needs. So we'll skip over the extra murder of 2 more men to acquire this flask and get to the fun part you've all been waiting for. Right after I tell you this little tidbit involving the archdruid of the very same Emerald Grove, Halsin. You see, Halsin was actually captured by the goblins I had just allied myself with in that very same camp. I visited the warg pens, eager to poke around and, well, help myself to whatever munitions the goblins had on hand, when I found a bear of all things trapped in a cage. After slaying him and finding myself thoroughly confused by his frequent costume changes, seriously, I couldn't even find the bear costume on his corpse. Where was he hiding it? I then was given what I can only describe as divine inspiration. The beholder was one thing, but if I really was going to impress Minthara, I absolutely needed one more thing for a little cherry on the top of this slaughter-baked cupcake. I needed Halsin's clothes. Now, you might be asking myself, why did I need Halsin's clothes? Well, let's just picture it for 1 second here. On the day of the raid, I would wear this man's clothing. Draped in the apparel of the Emerald Grove's beloved archdruid, I would forever dye them red in the blood of these druids he loved so much. I would spit on his morals and cover them in the blood of refugees, wash away all the good he had done for his fellow druids and nature in the very same druidic blood. Surely, once Minthara had got a glimpse of me in this archdruid's newly crimson-soaked clothing, she would never take her eyes off me again. Now, the stage is set. The time is nigh. I can feel destiny yelling my name on the winds, fate carving my name into the earth, and legend itself begging me for a tale. It is time for the raid on the Emerald Grove. With a beholder in my grasp and a mountain of explosives and oil primed and ready to go at the druid's front gate, I blew the war horn and chaos ensued. I'm going to paint Halsin's clothing in the blood of his fellow druids. How do you deal with that, you shitty druids? Eat, foul creature, eat! Yes, eat them all. Why? Oh my god, she's dead. Eat them all, creature. Eat them, yes! Eat, my demon, eat! We're going to watch it kill all of these shitty refugees that have been making my life harder and harder every day. If only Minthara were here to witness this masterpiece. It's killing them all in one shot. Why are you vibrating? Oh my god, it got me in the combat. Jesus Christ. No, 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 no. I will be running away. Oh! It keeps one-shotting them all. I'm feeding you the refugees, so you better leave me alone, beholder. It actually is just one-shotting all of them. This thing's fucking crazy. Goodbye. Oh, I unleashed hell. That was worth it. If there's been one thing today that was worth it, it was throwing a beholder on refugees and watching them get eaten. The battle was hard fought, but the druids proved to be easy pickings for an army of goblins backed up by the realm's finest bard. It helped that we had a beholder to feed, too. After the battle, I soaked Halsin's clothing in the blood of his apprentice Nettie, and then, in the most diabolical fashion, I had my entire party join me doing the follow dance in the druid blood while it soaked their beloved nature red. I even tore off that stupid vine headband they use as a key and stole their treasured idol of Sylvanas. And while I was at it, I pirated their entire secret vault. The raid on the Emerald Grove was over at last. Did you enjoy Lemon the Great Bard's tale, weary traveler? Perhaps you'd like to stay a while and hear a few more. You can mark my lodging on your map with the subscribe button, and you can let me know how much you enjoyed it by leaving one of those little thumbs up likes with that button down there. And if you have anything extra to say, you can head to the comments. Until next time, Lemon the Bard signing off.